there's really like no better time right now if you've ever wanted to get into the online education business, if you've ever wanted to be a coach, if you simply feel like you have like a set of expertise that you could put out to the world and you could charge money for it, like now is the time to get in the game, especially when you might be under lockdown for the next, 3 months or more, and you don't know exactly what you're going to do with your time. Build a business. If this is what you want to do, build a business. This online education business is doing something like $300 to $400 million per day in sales, and they're on track to do $1 billion per year in sales. Okay, or not a billion a year, a billion per day. They're doing 3 to 400 million a day right now. And so while college enrollment is dropping, this industry of online education is just dramatically blowing up. And the profit margins are super high because there's very little overhead, right? You can start a Facebook group like this, you can stream. You can just use like an online course to deliver and use Zoom for coaching. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get a business like this rolling. And so that is the beautiful part of what this type of business can do for someone. But not only that, you can make a lot of money as a coach, okay? I was making 6 figures a year really right out of the gate as a coach. I was doing a lot of stuff wrong though. I was doing nothing but one-on-one coaching. My whole week would be filled with doing sales calls and then working with clients. And I was honestly like pretty exhausted by it, pretty tired out. And so while the online education industry is like a great thing for those who feel called to do it, like if you want to get your voice out there, if you want to build a platform, if you want to have an impact on the world, it's a great thing to do. But there's so much misinformation out there about how to go about doing that. Like, how do you actually roll this business out? In what order do you do each step? And so I want to talk to you guys about that today a little bit to start helping you put the puzzle pieces together if that's something you want to do, okay? And I'm going to be transitioning what I teach away from real estate to helping people start coaching businesses, because that is what I really feel called to do. I really feel called to help people who have a message, who have an expertise, get their message out to the world, change lives, and be able to pay their bills and then some with that business so they don't have to have another job. They can use that money to invest in properties. That is really the best arrangement you could have, okay? So let's talk about some of the biggest mistakes I see when it comes to trying to be a coach, okay? Now, one of the biggest ones I see is that people try to get in the game, but they have like a really low amount of confidence or conviction about what they do. So they're trying to get started, but they don't really feel like they could actually help anyone, okay? If you don't feel like you could actually help somebody, then how in the world are you going to go out and market that and sell that, right? You have to have a high degree of certainty in what you do. So like if you had the cure for cancer and somebody had cancer and they were talking to you and then you offered to help them and they said, I need to think about it, you're going to push back pretty hard. But what do you mean you need to think about this, right? That comes with having a lot of conviction, okay? So if you're going to be a coach, you need to make sure that you're a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 on your confidence and your conviction that you can really help people with what you're going out there to do, okay? If you don't get that piece right, then you're going to suck at marketing, you're going to suck at sales, and you'll never really get a foothold, okay? The next piece is that you are trying to help the wrong person, or you're trying to solve the wrong problems, okay? So you want to pick a person that you really love to be around. What I tell people all the time is that your clients, the people you're going to work with, you may end up spending just as much time with those people as you do with your family, with your friends. And so you want to make damn sure that you pick the right clients to work with, okay? Like, if you think about who is that person out there in the world that I love to be around? Like for me, it's honestly entrepreneurs, it's experts, it's people that have like a mission or a passion or something, and they want to like build a business and write books and start podcasts. And like, I love people like that. It's just because they're basically me, you know? We like people that are like us, okay? And so who is that person for you that you really want to spend time with? So a lot of people will say, well, I love people who are really into personal development. You know, I hear that answer sometimes. Who is your person? You do not pick your person based upon a skill set that you have. You pick your person just simply based on, like, pretend you don't have any, you don't know what you want to teach people yet. Well, who do you want to have a beer with? Who gives you energy? Who excites you? Who would you be like looking forward to go meet for coffee? That is the foundation of your business. You're supposed to fall in love with your prospects, not your products, okay? Huge learning lesson for all of entrepreneurship. You fall in love with a type of person, and then you spend the rest of your life committed to that person, creating different products to solve their needs, which are always changing. So stop thinking about what you would help people with and start thinking about who do I want to help. Because you're going to spend a lot of time with those people, and you want work to be fun and fulfilling and give you energy, and you want to be excited and enthusiastic about enrolling more clients. And so you need to pick the right client. I cannot stress that enough, okay? Now that you have picked the right person, what problem do you like to solve? What problem do you enjoy solving the most for people? What would you be enthusiastic about waking up and working on solving every day? What types of problems? Okay? That's the next piece that you pair with what type of person do I love to serve, to come up with what you're going to do. Okay? Like, do you love to help people with nutrition? And do you love to be around entrepreneurs who are into personal growth or something? Well, then you might help entrepreneurs get healthy, right? That could be a coaching angle, and that's it's got a nice, like, it's niched down pretty tight. That could be what you choose, okay? But you need to choose something that's very in alignment with you, okay? The reason why I'm talking about this, and the reason why I am closing down what I'm doing with real estate over the next couple months, is because I realize that the person that I really love to serve is the expert. It's the coach. It's the person with a passion or a mission that they want to share with the world. And I want to show them the pathway to do that, to how to put the puzzle pieces together. How do you build this elusive education business? How do you make 6 figures a year while also changing the world, right? It's something that I spent 6 figures with different coaches and masterminds and seminars and courses trying to figure out. And I have cracked the code on it, but man, it was a lot. I was digesting information from all these different areas. It was like drinking from a fire hose. So we talked about, first, so far, you need to have a lot of confidence and conviction in what you do. You need to be working with the right person, solving the problem that you love to solve, and something that you're, quite frankly, pretty good at solving, okay? Although that is the least important, because you can level up your skills. The next big mistake I see people make is they are trying to make a bunch of different offers. Like when I first got started in real estate, it was like I wrote a book that you could buy for $7. I had a $47 program. Some of you guys might be in it. I might have been in it. You know, I had one-on-one coaching. I had a course for $997. I was trying to do webinars to the course. I was trying to get people in this like $47 subscription program. I was coaching people one-on-one. I was all over the place. Okay, that is not what you do. First off, you do not start with low ticket anything. You have to charge somewhere between like 3 to 10 grand for what you do. If you don't do that, you will not be able to make enough money to replace your income and be able to quit your job and do coaching full time. Okay, so you have to charge high ticket. And I know a lot of you guys are sitting there saying, well, how would I ask someone for $5,000 or whatever? Well, you can work up to that. I mean, if you really wanted to charge someone $1,000 for the first client you got ever, you can, and then get them results, and then creates belief, and then you can go, all right, the next person's going to be $1,500, the person after that's going to be $2,000, then I'm going to go up to $2,800. I kind of did that too when I got into real estate. I charged a guy like $1,500 for like 5 sessions with me. We worked like in person at a coffee shop. Like I showed up, you know, like with printouts and stuff. I was like nervous and sweating, you know, like, I mean, we all have to like find our way, you know, into something. So don't worry about that too much, but you do have to learn to charge higher prices and figure out how you can mentally justify doing that ASAP if you want to make it work. So you're just going to start with one offer, not 5 different things. You're just going to start high ticket, and you're not going to write a book. You're not going to start a podcast first. You don't need to start a YouTube channel. That is some of the biggest misconceptions. You also don't need to start with paid ads. Okay? You do not need to start by running traffic or running paid traffic. You need to hit a certain revenue rate, okay? Like I'm doing, you know, upwards of like 20K a month, and I am just now about to turn paid traffic on. I turned it on, I've done it in the past, I've spent a bunch of money on it, but it was too early, I was kind of not doing it right, and you don't need to start with that. You can go out and make money as a coach. Like by the end of this week, you could have a client. If you and I sat down and we worked together, like to get your business off the ground, and we focused on nothing but your business for the rest of this week, you could have a client by the end of this week, paying you a high ticket price. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, this business is not, you don't take the long road. Like starting a podcast is like a long-term play, okay? And that's not what you want to do, okay? The next thing is like, well, if you're not going to start paid ads, what do you do? And you have to have a good organic strategy. Organic means not paid. It means just going on to the internet, going on to social media, and starting conversations with people, posting the right things, asking the right engaging questions. What do you do when people comment and like your stuff? How do you further that, you know, and you message someone and you say ask certain questions in Messenger, and then you get people on a short call and you ask certain questions, and you propose a longer call, okay? That's an organic strategy that you can learn to get clients really fast, okay? And a lot of people don't know what that is. The next big piece is no sales skills. People don't have any sales training at all, and they just absolutely suck. I used to just get on calls with people and just teach. I just taught the whole time. That's all I did. And these people basically left the call thinking like, well, I got what I needed. No need to work with Brian anymore. He told me everything. And those people never got any results, because you can't teach someone every single thing to do, every little nuance. inside of like one 45-minute call, but that's what I tried to do. No one ever signed up. I was frustrated. I felt like these people didn't get it, why weren't they working with me? It's because I didn't know how to sell. And selling and teaching are two different things. If you teach people, you're actually doing them a disservice. You don't want to do that, okay? So no sales skills, huge reason why people fail. The next one is not knowing how to evolve as a consultant. Okay, so there's this process that you go through where you can start by working with one person one-on-one, and it takes up lots of your time or whatever. But then once you start to have a calendar full of those people and you've started to kind of nail down a process for getting them results, then you want to switch to a group coaching model. Okay, that allows you to coach everyone at the same time. You have to be a little bit better at coaching, right? You're going to learn how to be a great coach. You can coach people in a group. Once you learn how to run a group call, all of a sudden, instead of doing 10 one-on-one calls every week, you do one call a week with all 10 people on there, and you do Q&A. And then you'll start to see how that goes, and then you can start to record trainings or frequently asked questions. You put it in a course, and you start to use that course to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you when it comes to the teaching, so people are asking the same questions over and over. And you can evolve to this model where instead of like heavy lifting one-on-one, you're answering the same questions over and over again on these one-on-one calls. Then at the other end of the spectrum, you can have 15 or 20 people on one Zoom call that have already gone through a really good online course, and they just have a few questions left before they're going to execute and crush on what they're doing, okay? And so that is the evolution of a consultant. And you need to learn how to know which step you're on, which one to start with, and how to go down that line, okay? Now the last and biggest mistake I see people make who want to be online coaches is trying to go it alone. Trying to do what I did and just run Facebook ads and write a book and start a random podcast, then change it and start another one and write an ebook and then do a $47 program and just try to like look at all these different people and synthesize what they're doing and make that be what you do. That's a really bad idea. You're like, it would be like trying to trying to make a meal, and you opened like 10 different cookbooks and you took a little bit of piece of advice from this one, a little bit from this one, a little bit from this one, and you try to make one meal. That meal will be pretty jacked up and unfocused, right? And that's what most people's coaching businesses are like when they're looking at what one influencer is doing, and then this guy wrote a book, and that guy has a podcast, should I start one of those? This guy has a $40 a month subscription program, I should probably start that. That's a terrible idea. Because first of all, a lot of those people are on a way different level than you're on right now, and so what they're doing is not what you should be doing. Like, you don't write a book until you're doing 7 figures a year with a coaching business, because the book then throws gasoline on the fire that's already going. Okay, this is one piece of an example. And so you need to work with a coach who has done what you're trying to do, who can help you roll that business out in a way that's authentic to you. You love the people you serve, you love the problem you solve, you have a high ticket offer, one offer, you have a great organic strategy, you know what to say on a sales call to close, and then you know how to deliver the product in a way that scales so you can get out of that one-on-one, evolve to that group and course model, but not get there too soon. And that's the real secret, is to work with someone who's done it and can tell you exactly what to focus on at every step of the game. Cool? So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. And if you want to talk about working on this with me, I teach a coaching workshop where I pull back the curtain on how I scaled my real estate business to 20 grand a month, and I deliver in just a handful of hours per week. If you guys are interested in learning how to do that business model, now is the time to do it, especially with coronavirus raging. it's a great time to start a business that costs you hardly any money to get going. So comment down below, type yes. You can also message me if you prefer that, but let's have a chat. Let's have a 15-minute call just to get to know each other, find out what your goals are. If we feel like it's a fit, then we would have another call to talk about what that workshop entails and all that, okay? But if you want to get started fast, if you want to have this business up and running, making you money within the next 30 days or less, you need to work with somebody, okay? So comment down below. Let's get rolling. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and to your freedom, as always,